2, 1. We are live. It is Monday. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. This is the news. It's not really the news, but it is something that could change your life. I'm very, very excited to be bringing you this information today. Let me just share this on my timeline, and then we share it in one other place. Look at that, 4 people have already jumped in already. And then we share it on in a group. We share it in there. And we're live. We are. Look at all these people firing in this morning. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Good morning, Dolly. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, all of you. Thank you for joining me this morning. Look at all your emojis. Is it? You're not your emojis. They are your, what is it you're called, your little face thing? Good morning, Becky. Good morning. Good morning, every single one of you. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Abigail. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is going to be an awesome week, an unbelievably awesome week. This is all about mindfulness. Now, this is an area that's become really popular. And by the way, I hope you all had a great week last week looking at tools. I don't know about you, but I thought it was an awesome week. We got some amazing feedback from people. I'm going to be here all week. Every day. In fact, I'm in Windsor tomorrow. I will be broadcasting from Windsor Palace. I've got tea with the Queen. No, I've not got tea with the Queen, but I'm working in Windsor tomorrow, I think, with about 450 teachers. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? What should I tell them about the education system? I won't. I'm going to be very careful about what I say, because I've got into trouble before when I've spoken to teachers, because this is one of the things I've said. I have said, good morning, Alicia. Good morning, all of you. Good to see you again. This is one of the things I've said when I've spoken to teachers before, is how many teachers did you have when you were at school who really inspired you? How many? Did you have 1? Did you have 2? Did you have 3? Did you have 4? Me? None. No teachers who inspired me at all. I said, how many of you are the teacher that inspires everybody? And of course, the room became very silent, because a lot of people look within and go, actually, am I inspiring? In many cases, teachers, maybe they're not inspiring, because many teachers maybe became teachers because they didn't know what else to do. Some of them have lost their inspiration. I'm not saying teaching is easy. In fact, it's pretty challenging when you've got plus 30 kids in your class, and a lot of them don't want to be there, and you've got to show up every single day and be someone who inspires people. I think that's what teachers should be doing, right? By the way, the word inspire, and I am Mr. Inspirator. I'm renaming myself the Mr. Inspirator. That's who I am. Someone who inspires people to give them new ideas and to make them feel that they can do it. So many of you, how many of you feel like that? You feel like Pete Cohen is here for me. Good morning, Leslie. That he makes me feel that I'm a teacher and try to inspire every day. Good for you, Joe. That's my role here, my friends, and I appreciate every single one of you showing up here. Let's get straight into it. Paul Thorne is here. Look, Paul, I think he's in New Jersey. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We have people all over the world. What countries is everyone in right now? Tell us where you are in the world. If you're in the UK, whereabouts in the UK? If you're in anywhere else, whereabouts in the world are you right now? Just tell us, so you can start to see how global we are. It's big serious. Sadly, my son's teachers are not inspiring football coach. No, anyway, listen, we can all become inspiring and inspire other people. So we can see from our Minds 365 is we've got people from all over the world. We've got people from Essex, Warwickshire, London, Cornwall, Lancashire. We've got Hawaii. We've got Kauai. We've got New Jersey in the house. We've got West Sussex in the house, which is just around the corner from me. Becky, I'll be seeing you pretty soon, I believe. We've got North Oxfordshire in the house. By the way, bottom left-hand corner, thank you, Kay. You can share this. You can share this, because the information this week is going to change some of your lives. For me, this week is all about mindfulness. What does that mean? Well, according to one of the definitions, and I don't actually, you can come up with your own definition. But this is one of the definitions I came across, which doesn't actually make sense to me. A mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. Yes, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. Actually, it does make sense. It didn't make sense the first time I read it. Let me read it again. Mindfulness, a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations used as a therapeutic technique. So mindfulness is a therapeutic technique. For me, it's a quality state of being conscious or aware of something. Actually, that's something else I've just read. For me, mindfulness is my ability to do what I want with my mind. It's to fill my mind up with whatever I want. Does that make sense? Yes or no? How many of you would really like to learn how to fill your mind up with whatever you want? I posed a question this morning. Please answer the question. I don't do questions of the day very often, but when I do, please answer it. The question of the day was this: if I gave you a magic wand and you could wave the magic wand onto your brain to stop your brain from doing something, what would you stop your brain from doing? Don't tell me on here unless you really want to. What would you stop your brain from doing? You were given this gift, your brain. And by the way, we know that we have a brain, and we know we have different parts of the brain. There's still so much we don't know about it. We have come up with terms like conscious and unconscious. We still can't prove that. And we still don't know how to locate the mind. In fact, if I said to you, take a finger right now and point at your mind, where would you point? Most people would point here. Some people would point here. Some people would point in between their legs, because a lot of people think from what's in between their legs, or so they say. A lot of Japanese people will do this. They'll point like that to their mind as if it's up there. It's up to you. Write this down. It's your mind. It's your mind. And it's time to use your mind in ways that you never thought possible. Now, I've said this before. If we had a scale, well, we do have a scale of 0 to plus 10 to minus 10, right? For mental health. Minus 10 is someone who's suicidal, someone who is, or minus, someone who's clinically depressed, someone who's suffering from severe anxiety, whatever you want to think about it, plus 10, a minus 10. And maybe some of you have been there before. And maybe some of you, if you were going to score yourself on how much control you have over your mind, what would you say? Would you say, I don't know, I'm a -3, or maybe you're a 0? You see, we have a field of medicine, for every 100 articles that is written on mental illness, maybe 1 or 2 are written on mental health. So if someone's sick mentally, we often have treatments and drugs that can get someone from where they are to maybe a little bit better, maybe a lot better in many cases. But to make someone be optimal, to make someone be a +7, +8, +9, +10, that takes work, I believe. No one can do that for you. There are no drugs that can do that for you. It's only something, this is what I believe. I might be wrong here. It's something that you can learn to do yourself, but it's training. It is absolute training. And this is where, for many of us, we fall short because we're not really used to training ourselves and focusing on ourselves. Why? Couple of reasons. One, we're not used to it. We're not in practice of doing it. The other is you can't often really see what you're doing. In fact, you can, and I'm going to show you how. Does this make sense? Who is excited right now at learning some specific things so you can fill your mind with what you want to fill it with, so you can then give that to other people? Because I want to ask you this. There's no right or wrong here. What are you giving the world? And most of us, my goal is to give inspiration to the world, but often I give stress and worry, anxiety to people who are really close to me. So my challenge to myself is, what do I want to share with everyone? And what do I want to share with the people who are most important? Like you guys that show up every single day. Remember, there's no right or wrong. It's just we do what we have practiced doing. That's what human beings do. If you want to be a better version of yourself, you have to practice it. So my goal for today, whenever we spend a week focusing on a particular subject, which this is mindfulness, which is all to do with your mind, the first thing I ask you to do is to become aware. That really is the key word. I was going to write that word down. Awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. You just become aware. Remember, you're a scientist. Think of yourself as a scientist this week. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just becoming aware. If you want to label this, that's up to you, but it's not going to help you. If you want to help yourself, just become aware of what your mind is doing and what you are filling your mind up with. I'm going to show you some really cool techniques this week, but this is what I want you to take home today. And it's to understand, this is what I learned from my coach. He said to me this, he said, what is the nature of your mind? Now, I kind of shouldn't tell you this because I should let you kind of work it out for yourself. But in some respects, we don't have time because the time is now for us to start making changes. One of our My365ers made a brilliant video the other day. She was talking about counseling, saying how she had counseling for years, but the counseling had often been going over and over and over things and never really progressing, never really giving you tools you could practice to move on. It's like saying, look, you can improve your house. This is what you can do, but I'm not going to give you a hammer. I'm not going to give you a screwdriver. You've got to do that yourself. We can have some very, very powerful tools for the job that can help us be better versions of ourselves. Changing your attitude is not enough. You said, Pete, yeah, you know what? I do need a stronger mind because I'm fed up with feeling stressed, worried, depressed, anxious, sad. I'm fed up with it. I want to change. I'm going to change. Hooray! And then all of a sudden something happens and you just go back to what is familiar to you. So we are in training. Don't you believe that we were put on this earth to train, to become better? And most of us have been training ourselves to perform in ways that maybe we don't even want to. So my coach said to me, he said, Pete, what is the nature of your mind? And I really, even as a psychologist, I was thinking, I'm not actually too sure. And he said, look, the nature of your mind is your mind plays tricks on you. I went, what? Because that's what your mind does. He said, it's just not your mind, everyone. Everyone's mind is playing a trick on them. Why? Because it's a trickster. That's what the mind does. It's trying to trick you up. It's actually trying to help you, but in a strange way, because often we feel like it's playing tricks on us. Does this make sense? Have you ever been walking down the street and you think someone's behind you and you've looked back and there's no one there? Have you ever been lying in bed at night and you can't switch off? I must admit, I find it much easier to switch off now since I've been meditating. Meditation is a great way of learning to fill your mind, take control of your mind, because your mind is a trickster, but your mind is also a channel. Your mind loves to be engaged. You can never switch your mind off completely. Your mind loves to be engaged in something, and we have to be very careful where we put our mind. Where are you putting your mind? That's what I want you to become aware of today. I appreciate every single one of you showing up. I will be broadcasting tomorrow. Thank you, Amy. I will be broadcasting tomorrow from Windsor, quite near Windsor Castle. Remember, there's no right or wrong. Please go to the question of the day right now. Answer it if you were going to wave a magic wand, and you could fill your mind up. You could stop your mind from doing anything. What would you do it? There's no right or wrong, but you probably know. You know what, Pete? God, I need to do some training here. You know, My365 is helping me so much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Becoming aware, I put my mind. Melissa, you know, there's no right or wrong here. You're just doing the best that you can, but can you do better? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. We can all do better. But do you not realize this? The best is yet to come. Do you not realize there's more to you than meets the eye? Do you not realize you have so much potential? I've said enough. If you haven't checked out the My365 Summit, check it out. It's happening on the 23rd of September. And when we talk about game-changing events, that is a massive game-changing event. Why? Because we get to see each other in person, and not just me, other My365ers. This is one of the most inspiring, positive communities in the world. Every single one of you watching this right now, those of you that are watching this on the replay, you're never going to find so many people who want you to succeed in whatever it is that you do. And I will continue to show up for you. All I ask you is to meet me halfway. You are better than this, Paul. It just takes practice. And the best way to practice right now is put a big smile on your face and say this before we finish today. I'm better than this. Everyone say it with me. I'm better than this. Say it with me. I'm better than this. Everyone say it with me right now. And then read every person's comment. I'm better than this. I'm better than this. Thank you very much, Rebecca. It was amazing. You're amazing. It was amazing to meet you. I remember thinking, wow, you're a lot taller than I thought you were going to be. But I met a few people yesterday, actually, who I'd not met before, my 365ers. Thank you very much, Philip. You're a legend. Come on, everyone. I'm better than this. I'm better than this. Most of you can see how crazy my mind is. Thank you, Elaine. Always great to see you. Can't wait to see you again. It's been a long time, my friend. Yes. Look at that. What a lovely emoji, not emoji, whatever you call them, profile picture. There is a word for it. I've forgotten. Hannah, help me out. Avatar. That's what it is. I found it. I found it. Thank you so much. You are better than this. Have a great day. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl, let's speak this week. Let's speak this week. That rhymes. Suhog, great to see you. Great to see you. And those of you, our elite members, make sure you totally engage in the mastermind class this week and this month of confidence. Remember what the goal was at the beginning of the month, the end of the month, for you to become more confident. This week will help you. Have a great day. I'd love to read more of your comments. If you haven't shared this, you've got 2 minutes to share it right now. Bottom left-hand corner. Get it out there. Let's get this information. Tomorrow we will start with some techniques, but today become aware. Where does your mind go? You know, where do you allow your mind to go? Let's regain the power that you were given, which is to direct your mind, where you put it, where it goes. Have a great day. Much love to all. We will see you. In fact, hang on a second. Goodbye on Instagram. Let's stop that for a second. Let's end this live broadcast. Look, this is how I like to record things, as many of you know. So this is day 1 on mindfulness. Who's had a good day today? Let's look at all of your comments. Thank you very much for sharing this. Everybody's showing up here as potential power to change, or we wouldn't be showing up each and every day. Absolutely. We need to maximize that potential. Mindfulness is all about your ability to control your mind. Let's do great things with our minds, because if we don't, our minds will do what they've always done. And if we've always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've always got. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2 on mindfulness. Alex, good to see you, my friend, in Detroit. People all over the world, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Much love.